$1 cash game from here in the heart of London. We have already seen some fantastic cards, which can only get better as the stakes get higher. We'll hand you straight up to your commentators to talk you through the action.
Gussie, 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 all the way.
It's the FullTiltPoker.net $1 million cash game. I'm David Tuckman alongside Robert Williamson III. We're watching some no-limit hold'em action, and not just any no-limit hold'em action. We're watching some intense action.
And some of the best players in the world.
That's Gus.
He turned it live, yes.
Somewhere along the line, this nice gentleman, Andrew Feldman, has this idea that you're a great poker player. I don't know where he got this from, but somewhere deep down, somebody told him this. So he's found a way to fold top pair or over pairs to you like they're nothing.
I have too much respect for his kid. 2,300.
32.
Sorry, 3,200. All the way around.
Gus had limped in with the 10-6 suited. Tom Dwan raises. Everybody else gets out of the way. And now it's just a question, does Gus Hansen want to call this out of position?
Yeah, of course he does.
Well, he's going to play his rush.
It's Gus Hansen.
You know what, though? The stuff that he just played on Chris Ferguson and Andrew Feldman, I don't think that's going to work on Tom Dwan.
No, I agree with you there.
Flop is king.
Oh. Pretty good flop for Gus Hansen. He flops a flush draw.
Yeah. Tom Dwan's still in the lead, but you can see the percentages. It's pretty much a coin flip.
Gussie, 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 Gussie.
I'm sure we'll see a continuation bet here from Tom Dwan. Maybe a check raise by Gus Hansen. I doubt we see check call.
No, I don't think there's any.
Pot is $8,000. Tom Dwan cutting out some chips.
5,500, 6,000, somewhere in there in the continuation bet range. Of course, he likes smallish type bets.
Bet 6,200.
And he bets 6,200. Pretty much dead on, Robert. Over to Gus. And this is one of those spots where I always have trouble. You're out of position with a flush draw. How do you want to play it?
Well, both players fairly deep stacked. Well, Tom Dwan not as deep as he was. I think we'll see a check raise here, actually. I don't think a check call with no overcards to the board would be in Gus Hansen's best interest.
Pot is $14,200.
If we do see a re-raise, you're going to see probably like a $12,000 to $15,000 re-raise.
Now the interesting thing is, normal times, if somebody check raises Tom Dwan here, well, Gus Hansen's actually called, so it's irrelevant. But I was going to say, sometimes Dwan will call anyway.
Yeah,
he floats one off anyway. Well, Tom Dwan cannot win this hand unless somehow he gets Gus Hansen to fold. But you and I both know there's no way he's folding the flush.
It's kind of a tough spot for Gus Hansen. He almost needs to lead here just because Tom Dwan could have one club and take a free card. Yeah, this is a tricky one for Gus Hansen. If he leads 12,000 roughly, Tom Dwan probably just lays the hand down.
Well, the interesting thing is, Tom Dwan is such an aggressive player. There's a chance.
I mean, it's going to happen to other people, too. Are we all on?
Yeah,
we're on.
That is the massive stack of Patrick Antonius. Those black chips, by the way, 25,000. Stack of 20. We're talking $500,000 in just black chips.
It's a pretty awesome feeling to have it sitting in front of you, but it's not very good feeling to see that across the table from you in another opponent's hand.
I gotta tell you, there'll never be a day where that's sitting in front of me. If it's sitting in front of me, I'm getting up and I'm walking away. But that's why I'm a commentator, not a poker player. Well, certainly not to this level, at least.
Gus is actually playing a little bit faster today.
Do you guys care? I didn't see the chips. I obviously meant to make it too.
Gus is actually playing on relatively fast speed today.
This fast game already messed you up into putting in 26,000.
Yeah, I don't understand how it happened. Oops.
Oh, here's the flop three ways. Check 10-10. Well, Dwan's open-ended with the Queen-9.
3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8.
Cunningham and Hansen with a whole bunch of nothing. Hansen's got the gut shot.
I would be surprised checked around to him if we saw a lead here by Gus Hansen.
Well, there you go.
Yeah.
That's 4,000.
Doesn't surprise me whatsoever.
Well, Dwan's not going to go anywhere. He's open-ended, right?
You probably at least call. Probably a flat call.
Yeah. Tom Dwan did call. Cunningham gets rid of his ace-5, and we're heads up. Dwan versus Hansen. Pot is now 15,300. The turn is the deuce of spades.
Check. Check.
That's what we call in this game a hold'em card.
And it goes check, check. Right now, Hansen with the best of it. He's got the king. Now, both players have tens and deuces. Hansen with the best hand right now, king high.
Queen.
I had the big king.
Tom Dwan just knows he missed an opportunity there. I guess, oh, why didn't I bet? I know I have the best hand.
I would have won it if he made it 26,000.
You'd have shoved.
I'm Gus Hansen. I'm a professional poker player for 10 years now. Before I started playing poker, I was a professional backgammon player for like 5-6 years. A couple of friends of mine played a lot of poker, and it seemed like an interesting game. A lot of big tournaments, a lot of money, a lot of action. So I decided to give it a try, and now we're here. Winning the Aussie Millions was a big accomplishment. That was a big tournament, 750 players. Pretty happy with the end result of that. Just being a professional gambler for 15, 16 years, and I'm still around, I think is a pretty nice accomplishment.
7 players at the felt, and well over $1 million. Actually, at this point, we are approaching $2 million.
Yeah, I was going to say, we're closer to the 2 million mark on this table. Wow.
Phil Ivey's got another 300,000. He's sitting out.
Andrew Feldman opening under the gun.
Oh, yeah.
Oh.
He represented England as a teenager playing badminton. Bet you didn't know that.
I actually didn't. I played a lot of cards with Andrew Feldman, but I didn't know that. Thanks for that little information on him.
If he challenges you to a badminton match,
I'll know to run. I'll know to run.
Well, we're going to see this 3 ways. And here's the flop. 8, deuce, deuce. 8. Well, Andrew came in with the worst of it. He's flopped the best of it, though.
Check.
He's got 8s up.
We put the 7 deuce in.
Yeah, I don't think you can let any free cards come off here. I think we're going to see a definite bet, 4,500 or so.
Bet 4,200.
Well, 4,200. You're going to have to work on that.
I tell you.
Tom Dwan with a whole bunch of nothing. But that doesn't really mean anything.
Yeah, I wouldn't be surprised at all to see at least one air call here, and we did.
Yeah, and he's going to float one off and see what happens. A lot of scary cards for Andrew Feldman.
Plus, he has overcards. I mean, he does have legitimate overcards.
Well, he didn't hit his overcard, but the King of Hearts has to scare Feldman. I mean, that could be a card that maybe Dwan can use. Pot is now $15,400. And Andrew Feldman trying to figure out what to do.
I think the reason why Tom Dwan...
checks.
Whoa.
Well, this is really interesting now. Andrew Feldman with a full house. But Tom Dwan, he's got 8s and deuces with the ace kicker.
Maybe
does he
beats
think
the
maybe?
board.
Yeah, I was just saying. Does he think maybe that his ace is good?
Yeah, or maybe it's at a tie.
Bet 5,000.
Oh, nice little bet. Wow. An insta-fold by Tom Dwan. Kind of surprised about an insta-fold in that spot.
Yeah, I think Tom Dwan just has a read on Andrew Feldman. Andrew Feldman, by the way, down about $35,000.
Which, considering the size of this game, is easily overcome. You know, 35,000. That's a normal swing for this big of a game.
He originally bought in for 100,000, lost that. Bought in for another 100,000. But like I said, total loss $35,200. Still a lot of work to do if he wants to start making a profit. 2 players at this table, by the way, bought in for $400,000 each. One is Patrick Antonius, one is Tom Dwan.
2,000.
Both fortunes going reverse ways.
Yeah, especially you look at the fact that Tom Dwan had to rebuy because he got felted by Patrick Antonius.
Pass.
No, Alan Cunningham raised it up with 9-6.
Pass.
Pretty
Folds
creative.
around to the big blind. Andrew Feldman in the big blind.
Pretty creative for Alan
Cunningham?
Cunningham, who plays fairly snug, tightish type player.
Ooh. Look at that. Andrew Feldman with the queens.
Gotta love looking down at the lovely ladies in this kind of a spot, even against a tight player like Alan Cunningham.
Now, if you're Feldman, what kind of hands do you put Cunningham on? He's raised in early position.
I'm going to find out. I'm going to see exactly where I'm at because I'm going to re-raise right here.
Well,
so does Andrew Feldman.
That's exactly what Feldman does. And Cunningham quickly. He can't muck his hand quick enough.
Yeah. Well, when you're not running good, you're not running good. And right now, Alan Cunningham has got to be feeling a little dejected.
Well, Chris Ferguson's taking his bow from the competition right now. Just quickly talk us through how you feel it's gone for you so far.
Oh, it's went well. I'm up 100,000, so yeah, it went very well today.
You've been here a number of times before. Can we expect to see you back next year?
Yeah, I'm pleased, and I really enjoy this event. It's a lot of fun. I mean, they're great players. It's not a pushover field at all, but I like playing against the tough fields.
This is still a cash game that draws you from across the world to come and play in. Is it one that you value coming to?
No, I enjoy playing cash game. I mean, obviously most of the poker you see on TV is from the big tournaments, and I enjoy playing them as well. But the cash games, it's definitely more action. It's more exciting to be at the cash games, unless of course you're at the final table of some big tournaments. But that's hard to get there. Here you can just be at your own little final table, playing for some serious money against some of the toughest players in the world. So it's kind of fun.
It's the FullTiltPoker.net $1 Million Cash Game. The action has been intense. 6 players at the game, and there's a little shakeup in the lineup. We've got a new player here. It's Cyril Mouly. He's bought in for $100,000. He's a Frenchman, and he plays often at the Bellagio in Las Vegas, plays the big game at the Bellagio. So, obviously, not scared of the big stakes here. We've lost 2 big players, though. Gus Hansen, the Great Dane, has left, won about $100,000. He's out of the game. And Chris Ferguson, Jesus himself, is out of the game as well. He's also won about $100,000. So we're 6-handed here. Tom Dwan, the Mouth, Matusow, Patrick Antonius, Andrew Feldman, Cyril Mouly, and, of course, Alan Cunningham. Blind still $300, $600, with a running ante of $100. And I'm not sure how familiar these guys are with Cyril Mouly.
Yeah, I don't think they're that familiar with him. I know I'm not.
Well, he plays the big game at the Bellagio, so obviously he knows something. Well, takes down that pot.
I think it was a walk. I think they folded to him.
Look at that fear, the respect the Frenchman already garners.
He's something special, huh? I don't think they're prepared to. They didn't know if there's going to be any cash.
Buttons in front of Andrew Feldman. Andrew Feldman. He was a paper boy who turned 20 pounds into 4 million pounds.
That's a pretty good return on investment. I'm not that good at math, but that's a real good return on investment.
You think? Tom Dwan trying to get some of his money back. Maybe he can hope for some return on his investment. He's in there with ace 10 of spades. Raises it up to 2,100. And it folds out to Feldman. Feldman not going to play. Feldman going to Foldman. And the Frenchman, Cyril Mouly, going to call. He's going the speed limit. Now,
I think that's the old speed limit. 55, yeah, I didn't see that much anymore.
Probably not, you're right. Now, the one thing that I'm curious about,
Jack, ace, king.
Not a very good flop for 5s. Now, I'm not sure how familiar the table is with Mouly, but at the same time, how familiar is Mouly with Tom Dwan?
6.
You know, I would say that if
Check.
Cyril Mouly does play in the big game in Vegas, and I've seen him there before, he's definitely got to be somewhat familiar, minimum, with Tom Dwan.
Well, check, 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 check. And now Mouly looks like he's going to fire a little bet.
6.
And it's an easy call.
Call.
2-5.
An instant payoff by Tom Dwan. Checked it to him accurately. Got induced the bluff by Mouly.
A little bit of pot control with the ace-10, and at the same time, he induces the bluff. Well played by Tom Dwan.
Absolutely.
Obviously, if there was some easy set of guidelines that you could follow to be a, high-stakes cash game player and win lots of money, then none of my friends would be working 9 to 5s and they'd all be winning all the money. That said, the best qualities that high stakes players have are being intelligent and rational and controlled, and being able to process the information that that they can pick up and apply it to their opponent's games and figure out how they should play their hands. But there's no, golden key of, oh, I figured this out, now I'm going to win money in poker.
I don't think I've seen an ace or a 10 in any hand. Oh, I've seen
They've cost me a lot.
Well, the action's on Mike Matusow, who continues to talk about how many cards he's not catching today.
Oh, what a surprise.
Mike the Mouth has turned into Mike the Complainer.
Oh, he turned into Mike the Complainer. When was he ever not Mike the Complainer?
That's true. Now that you say it that way, that's true.
Well, these players literally putting their money where their mouth is.
No pun intended.
No, pun was completely intended. There's Mooley, there's the Frenchman. He says that he lives about 3 months a year in Vegas, plays poker, and makes enough in the 3 months to live the rest of the year in France.
He's definitely got enough to wear beautiful scarves or... What would the Frenchman call that? That's not a scarf, is it? What would they
I don't
call
know
that?
what language you'd call it, but I wouldn't call it beautiful in any language. Well, here's the flop, King, Queen, 7. And it's Mooley versus Dwan. And Dwan definitely playing... I think Dwan wants to see how Mooley plays, to see if maybe he can get some chips back from this guy. But he is going to check and fold that one. And Mooley takes it down.
I'm your patient.
Now, we're 6-handed. We've been playing 7-handed for quite some time. How is playing 6-handed going to change the dynamic of this game?
Well, basically the hand values change. As there's less players, hand values go up. So should see more air calls, more air bluffs, the value of each hand being higher. Now, any ace is playable versus before maybe small aces weren't so playable.
I think we should all go skydiving right after this game ends.
I will do anything in life but skydive.
I thought it would have been like more exciting or crazy. It was pretty much.
Well, you did it tandem probably, right?
Yeah, tandem. Just falling down and open the parachute, and that's it.
Yeah, but the first 5 minutes, first 5 minutes had to be a rush, right?
You're the sickest person alive. That's awesome.
Antonius not going to play?
I mean, I can understand someone saying just like 5 times.
Over to Mooley.
Probably nicer if you can fly yourself.
Yeah.
All I can think of is Animal House. Mooley.
2-7. Pass.
Well, he sure has been mixing it up. Mooley's playing a lot of hands for Moolah.
Yeah, he's in there this time once again.
Ace, Queen, 8. Check.
Well, Mooley's come to play. He's flopped top pair.
And Mike Matusow's flopped second pair.
Jack.
Turns the jack. Well,
now a double gut shot for Mike Matusow as well as second pair.
Matusow can catch a 9 or a king to make a straight.
Looks like a good spot for a value bet by Mooley.
Well, it's the one thing, when you play those raggedy aces, even if you flop an ace, it's tough to really get any value out of it.
5,500.
But he's going to do it here.
Call.
And it's a $5,500 bet from Mooley and a call from Matusow.
Mike needs a 9, a king, or a queen.
2.
How about a deuce?
That's not a good card for Mike Matusow.
Pretty much a blank there. And is it going to go check? I mean, you got ace with a bad kicker. No. Wow. Maybe a little value bet here.
Wow, he's doing more than a little value bet. 15,000 to that pot.
15,000 into a $17,000 pot.
Yeah, I don't like that bet at all.
Well, remember earlier on we saw Gus Hansen overbet when he had the hand and he got paid off by Chris Ferguson. Could it happen here again? It's the overbet, maybe make it look like a bluff.
You know, definitely that's what he's going for here.
The passion, huh?
I'm the passion, only for one man.
Pot is 32,300, and it's 15,000 for Matusow to call. Getting just a little bit more than 2 to 1.
Do you bluff a lot?
Maybe. I don't know.
It's one of those spots, though, where you start thinking, well, what hand is my opponent betting? It went check, check on the flop.
It's so unfair that you guys have played all these hours and I've never played her.
I mean, Matusow can only beat a bluff.
Yeah, that's the problem.
I know I'm going to get shown a bluff if I fold this hand. Just don't show me a bluff if I fold this hand. Whatever you do not show me a bluff. Because I will go off the deep end.
Promises, promises.
Whoa, whoa, whoa. Show the bluff.
Well, smile on the Frenchman.
With your hand.
Mike Matusow left wondering if he was bluffed out. We know he wasn't.
I would have showed just the 6 and mucked the other card, just to kind of get under his skin a little bit. Just a little bit.
I've only gone twice and it was tandem.
Eric Seidel's just raised it up.
I knew he had aces pre-flop. I was looking to flop something big. We were both playing pretty deep, and I flopped 2 pair.
And that is a great start for Mike Matusow.
I let out, and he raised me, and I put a pretty big re-raise in and got him to commit 90,000 with 1 pair.
I'm all in.
All in.
And Seidel moves all in.
Cool.
Seidel moves
all in
in.
and a call.
Hold on a second.
This is going to be the biggest pot we have seen so far.
You want me to give you insurance?
They were offering me insurance. I didn't even know what insurance meant, but I would have took it if I could have.
What have you got insurance? Hang on 1 second. All right, just go. Forget it.
One time.
Let's go. One time.
I even knew it. I kept yelling, I'm going to lose, I'm going to lose. Cause I was so negative at the time. I used to just lose every hand I played in poker.
And the river's a 7. I cannot believe it.
My lucky poker. That's why I want to do something. You guys don't know how bad I run in poker.
It was pretty shattering, $154,000 pot, you know, where I'm like almost 3-to-1 favorite.
I got Eric Seidel to put in all his money with 1 pair, 75,000 on the flop. I flop top 2. I'm running 7s. I'm trying to get insurance. They go, are you crazy? You're such a huge favorite. And I said, you don't know how bad I run in poker. I want to get insurance on this hand.
That one definitely hurt. That was really bad. That was the worst one I think I've ever took.
You guys just think I play bad. But Mike, I'm the unluckiest player in poker. I told you guys how bad I run in poker. Nobody knows but me.
Take it easy on me. I'm the brokest guy in this whole entire place.
I learned to do some do stuff.
Beat up on the rich guys. You gotta take
Well,
it easy
6
on the
players at the
broke
table.
guy.
You wouldn't think it's a big game. You'd be sorely mistaken. Over $1 million at this table.
And some of the biggest names in poker as well.
That was interesting.
To go with all the money.
No, a raise from Alan Cunningham. Now, King 9, not normally a great hand, but remember, we're only 6-handed. He's in the cutoff seat. Taking a shot at it.
You know, actually a tightish fold by Tom Dwan on the button. Ace-7 he folded.
And of course, you call him Tom Durr because it is Tom Durr Dwan.
That's
His
true.
online name is Durr. Antonius going to call this.
9, 6, 4.
Well, Cunningham's flop top pair. Patrick Antonius with a gut shot. Needs an 8 to make the straight.
A gut shot and an overcard to the board. That comes into effect sometimes. Backdoor flush draw as well, a baby one.
Well, he's about a 2-to-1 dog, but he's bet $4,000 over to Cunningham. Now, it's an interesting bet because if you put Cunningham on big cards, is that one of the reasons why I bet?
Yeah, no, I really like a raise here.
All in.
Oh, wow,
Well,
that's a little bigger raise than I was imagining. He's going to probably take this pot right on down.
Obviously, Antonius cannot call an all-in,
No.
but did Cunningham make this play and try to make it look like a draw? Like it make it look like a semi-bluff? And get called maybe by a pair of 6s? I mean, it was such a big overbet by Cunningham. It was almost, if I had a pair, I might put my opponent on a draw.
Yeah, I don't like it at all.
No? Okay.
Got top pair. Why not try to get some money in there? Why shut out your opponent?
Some of these players, the best in the world. Sometimes the unconventional play is the only way to get the money in the pot.
I don't think Alan Cunningham's on today. I think we're seeing a different version of Alan Cunningham today than we normally see.
Oh, he's lost his mojo. Somebody give him his mojo.
Welcome back to Central London, where we have some of the biggest names in the game, all of them with an unlimited buy-in, which can only lead to high-stakes poker. Let's hand you straight back to your commentators.
Let's take a look at a leaderboard here, $1 million cash game. Patrick Antonius dominating the competition. He's up 267,000. Now, you don't see many winners in this leaderboard because a couple of the winners have left. Chris Ferguson, Gus Hansen, both left. Tom Dwan, Alan Cunningham are big losers. Tom Dwan nearly down $300,000.
That's a lot of cash.
Or cachet, as they might say. Well, Andrew Feldman, he doesn't play very often, but when he plays, he seems to have the big ones. And
this time with Big Slick.
Well, Sarah Mooley with the ace-jack. Now, everybody else at the table is very familiar with the fact that Andrew Feldman's been playing very tight. Sarah Mooley, he doesn't know this. He hasn't been here all day.
Matter of fact, he may not have played much with Andrew Feldman.
Well, the flop misses both players terribly. And Feldman does not make a continuation bet. Mooley doesn't bet as well. And you wonder how this one's going to play out. Well, 4 diamonds doesn't really change much. Check. And is Mooley going to take a shot at it?
I wouldn't blame him if he did.
I mean, Feldman can't fold, though, here, can you?
6.
4 to a straight on the board. All babies.
Oh, why would you put your opponent on a 5, though? Yeah. I mean, the way he's played it, though. I mean, Feldman raises pre-flop and then just going to just check and shut down?
I would have led on the flop. I prefer a lead there, but...
Sarah Mooley now up over $10,000.
It's pretty good for 10 minutes. 10 minutes worth.
$1,000 a minute? It's not bad work if you can get it.
I'd do it for 100.
You guys could finish that in a week. I mean, for me, like when I play in if I play in an 8-handed 08 game, I know where I'm at in every hand, and I never give it.
And Mike the Mouth continuing to talk. Mike the Mouth, by the way, up a little over $20,000. Now, he was up over $100,000 at one point.
He's definitely hunkered down here, bleeded off some of those profits back.
He's almost in this like preservation mode, trying to not lose his profit.
Yeah, sometimes that's real bad.
Well, you know what it is. You know what they say. If you're scared of losing, what's going to happen more often than not is you're going to lose. We get a raise here from Sarah Mooley, who's definitely not afraid to mix it up.
Plus, he has a legitimate hand, ace-9 suited.
Tom Dwan, not a legitimate hand, but...
Well, for Tom Dwan it is. I mean, come on, Jack-deuce, it's suited.
And he has flopped a flush draw. Mooley has absolutely nothing. Pot is $6,100. And Tom Dwan is a favorite right now, even though he is technically behind.
4-6.
Mooley bets $4,600.
Wouldn't be surprised to see a check raise here by Tom Dwan.
Call.
No, how about a call?
I guess
Pot is now $15,300.
He's worried about having no overcards to the board.
Well, I don't think he's worried anymore. 3 of hearts on the turn completes his flush.
Check.
And Mooley can beat absolutely nothing.
Yeah, but he might bluff at this. He's been bluffing quite a bit.
I mean, Mooley, maybe he can beat Jack-10. And I'm inventing a hand he can beat.
I think if Mooley bets, it'll be on a complete bluff and then shut down on the river if he gets called. But otherwise, I don't think we'll see it. But I think he's been prone to bet here. 10,000.
Well, maybe he's trying to represent the hearts. Maybe he thinks he got called by a queen or something like that, and he can represent hearts and take it away. That's what he's going to try.
14.
And he bets 14,000. He's not shy about putting chips in the pot. I'll tell you that much. Almost a pot-sized bet.
That almost forces Tom Dwan to raise here, because Tom Dwan can't take a chance on letting an ace of hearts or a king of hearts, or pardon me, queen of hearts, have a free draw at this. I think we'll see a re-raise from Tom Dwan here. I don't think he's thinking about folding, that's for sure.
Exactly my thoughts.
Yeah, he's really going to choke on this hand if he gets raised, that's for sure. It's not just going to be a cough.
Well, the one thing about Mooley's hand, I mean, he can put chips out there because if he does get raised, it's an easy muck, obviously. He's got absolutely nothing.
That's true. I prefer like a $10,000 bet versus 15.
36,200.
I mean, I've seen some players at the ace-9, let's say he has the ace of hearts. If he were to bet in that spot, it's actually a really dangerous spot because then you can actually get raised off of a big draw, which can be, you know, catastrophic. In this case, though, he's getting raised off of nothing. Tom Dwan does raise. He takes your advice. He's raised it up to 36,200. And Mooley
clearly taking his time to stop him from betting at him next time. Obviously, he's not going to do anything this time.
Well, you wouldn't think so, but you never know. I mean, we've seen stranger things. Action is on Cyril Mooley. It's 22,200 to call. Pretty sure he's not going to smooth call.
No.
You imagine a raise or a fold here, but we'll see what happens.
Yeah, I would say we'll see one or the other.
Pot is 65,500. Cyril Mooley.
60.
I think he's asking for a count.
74 behind the bet.
Yeah, he is asking for a count. And maybe he's trying to figure out if Dwan is actually pot committed.
Well, he might be considering over the top here. Wow, with nothing but air.
Well, he's going to fold.
Pass.
It's a good rule.
That hand, yeah, just because there's a new player, that hand. Now on 20 seconds is on that.
Oh, Feldman, ace-queen, going to raise this one up.
2-2.
Cyril Mooley gets out of the way.
You know,
Alan Cunningham.
I really
shows his
like
cards. Mux.
I really like Andrew Feldman's short-handed game. I think the six-handed really plays to his game, and Tom Dwan's game as well. I think those two, this really does play well to them.
I know you say that, and I can see that with Tom Dwan. I haven't seen that from Andrew Feldman at all. I've got to be honest.
Ace, queen, 10.
Well, he's flopped top 2.
Check.
I mean, I see every single time if Feldman has a big hand, yeah, he knows what to do with it. But I see him playing a lot of hands somewhat passively. And that's my only question. I mean, I'm paid to pay the truth, and this is what I'm seeing. I'm curious what you think.
I think it was more when it was seven-handed. Now that it's six, I don't think he's really played it too passively.
Time will tell. He takes that one down with top 2. It's the Full Tilt Poker.net $1 Million Cash Game. I'm David Tuckman alongside Robert Williamson III. Yes, that Robert Williamson III, the phenom, the PLO expert. But today, we're watching some no-limit hold'em action. And not just any no-limit hold'em action. We're watching some intense action.
And some of the best players in the world. I mean, really, this is just half Omaha. You get half as many cards.
He has some bad days too, but
Cyril Mooley going to
call the open raise under the gun by Andrew Feldman. And look at this. Alan Cunningham looks down to see two cowboys.
Now, it looks like a great spot to kind of try a squeeze.
Pass. Pass.
But Cunningham has got a big one.
Pass. Pass.
And you see how Tom Dwan's game is. I mean, he'll call a raise with 5-6, but he's not going to call a raise and a re-raise with a hand like Ace-Jack. And Ace-Jack hit the muck for Tom Dwan. Wow, Cyril Mooley's going to call this.
It's a pretty loose call.
Heads up between Mooley and Cunningham.
4-7-5.
Well, Mooley's got black cards, and there are black cards out there. Unfortunately, they don't match for him.
I think that's a different game. I don't think that's Texas Hold'em.
Well, he needs running clubs, some sort of running cards to win this one. You can see his percentages. Only a 9% chance of winning this pot. There's a slight chance. The reason it doesn't add up to 100 is because we can have a chop pot. There can be a straight on board. $12,000 bet from Cunningham.
And he had to bet a pretty good-sized bet just to protect this coordinated flop.
And Cunningham going to take that one in.
A moral victory for Alan Cunningham. Hasn't won many pots today, or tonight.
Cunningham still down a significant amount of money. And there it is, $121,000 in the hole.
It's not much if you say it fast, but you'd have to say it real fast. I'd be looking fresh as a daisy if I had over 600,000 sitting in front of me, too. I don't know about you, David.
Yeah, Patrick Antonius right now at $666,000 in front of him. He's up $266,000. But that's Alan Cunningham's hand. 8-6 of hearts. He's going to play it.
I think he's reinvigorated with these two small pots he won.
Cool.
Well, Antonius going to call at the Queen 9.
Pass.
I don't mind that in position against, once again, a fairly tight player in Alan Cunningham, who's starting to loosen up a little.
Well, Cyril Mooley going to call as well, and we're just going to see this flop three ways. Hearts for Cunningham, hearts for Cyril Mooley.
2 jack ace.
And not a surprise that no hearts come out.
Actually,
And
kind of a blank flop.
Yeah, nobody has anything.
Usually,
Patrick Antonius still at the best of it with queen high. It checks around. Here's the turn. 5 of diamonds.
usually the first aggressor in pots like this is the one who takes the pot down. They check to Patrick Antonius again. Wow, I can't believe he checked there.
6.
I would have been inclined to bet on the turn if it checks all the way around to me in the black.
Alan Cunningham gets lucky on the river, catches the 6. We'll see how this one plays out.
Considering a value bet, but it'd be an awful thin one. What could he get called by?
Oh, that's what I was going to ask you. If he bets the 6, can he get? I mean, I guess he can get called by a 5 or a deuce.
Yeah, pretty thin, pretty thin. But actually, the action on Cyril Mooley first.
Yeah, Cyril Mooley here. Maybe he looks to steal the pot. Now this is interesting because it might actually get through.
9.
And he bets 9,000
into a $6,900 pot.
Pass.
And
Wow.
Alan Cunningham forced to fold, but one of the reasons Cunningham forced to fold is Patrick is still yet to act behind. Now this is interesting. I think Patrick puts Mooley on nothing. But can you call with just queen high, or is he forced to actually raise? Very interesting spot.
Yeah, I'd be surprised if we see just a flat call. It's got to be a raise or a fold here. I don't think he can flat call. If he does, wow, what a great call.
I mean, the way Mooley has played this, it smells like a bluff. It looks like a bluff. We can see it's a bluff, but I think Patrick Antonius knows it's a bluff.
Well,
Just
it's
a matter
either-
of, does he
it's e-
call or does he raise?
It's either an error, just a flat bluff, or he could have hit a pair on the river here. Or maybe value betting a jack that he flopped to begin with.
Cool.
Wow.
And Antonius makes the call. He makes the call with queen high. Unbelievable.
That's a great call by Patrick Antonius.
You know, I got to tell you, we've been doing this series for 4 years. This is the 4th season of the $1 Million Cash Game, and never before have I seen somebody make a call with queen high and it be good. Unbelievable.
Sometimes the lady does the trick. Before. I was trapping all the way.
Patrick Antonius, a little bit of humor there.
I'm Patrick Antonius, one of the biggest cash game players in the world. There are a lot of players that they have problems in other fields, selecting good games and money management problems. It takes a lot of conditioning. You have to be mentally in good shape because just the one kind of tired moment can cost you so much money. So you have to always be fresh when you play because there's really not room for any mistakes. Like it's not really how great you play some sessions. It's if you have bad sessions. So always give your A game, and you'll be fine.
Let's take a look at a leaderboard here. Patrick Antonius, after that unbelievable call with just queen high, is now up $280,000. Let's take a look at the other spectrum. Tom Dwan, down $264,000. Cyril Mooley, by the way, the new player at the table, down a cool $28,300.
Got a fast start, but has slowed down since that point. Kind of bluffed off his money a few times here.
Well, maybe he's setting him up for a bigger play. By the way, though, Mooley only has $71,700. He only bought in for $100,000, so we'll have to see how this one works out.
2-2. Pass.
Well, there's a raise from Tom Dwan. He's got ace 5 of spades.
Pass.
Let's play deuces wild.
So why is it illegal to...
Patrick Antonius made a tightish fold.
Well, Feldman's going to call this on the button with deuces. That's going to bring Mooley in.
Yeah.
And that's probably going to bring in Cunningham as well.
First of all, why don't I need to...
So many times that first caller causes the avalanche, what we call in poker.
Well, and if you're Andrew Feldman, you got to like that because you want more players in there when you have deuces. If you hit your set, you're getting better odds.
Yeah, absolutely.
Well, here's the flop.
3-5.
8-5-3.
And a flush draw for Cyril Mooley.
It's a flush draw for Cyril Mooley. The best hand right now is Tom Dwan with a pair of 5s.
Let's play deuces equals aces. Deuces wild. Aces.
A lot of dead hearts out there. Cunningham with the ace of hearts. Feldman with the deuce of hearts. Pot is $9,400.
13.
And it's another big over bet here by Cyril Mooley.
Wow.
9 out of 10 hands, I get double.
13,000 into a $9,000 pot.
And actually, even though Tom Dwan currently has the best hand, Mooley with 2 overcards and a flush draw would normally, if there wasn't so many hearts dead, would be a favorite here.
Pass.
And he still is, even with the dead hearts.
Yeah, you saw the percentages there. Tom Dwan, 45% chance to win this pot. Mooley with 55%. We're going to see a turn.
Queen.
It's the queen,
And
and that's exactly why. You pointed it out. Not only could Mooley catch a heart, but he catch a queen or a 9.
Well, Mooley could play this really tricky right now and check this now that he hit his hand.
Well, the interesting thing is if he continues to bet big, the only thing I was going to say, does Dwan continue to think maybe this guy is on hearts?
Yeah, I think if he bets too big, he's going to lose Tom Dwan. Tom Dwan's got second to the bottom pair. I mean, that's third pair to this board.
29.
29,000.
Wow.
Well, he bets another big pot.
How much more do you have, Cyril?
He asks how much you have left. And by the way, Tom Dwan is in terrible shape. He needs an ace or a 5. And by the way, the ace cannot be the ace of hearts.
That's what I was fixing to add.
Yeah.
No. Tom Dwan has got the money in good several times and hasn't gotten lucky. Now, if he gets his money in, it wouldn't be in a very good spot.
You have a black chip?
No, I didn't have black chips. You want I count how much I have?
No. 40 is close enough.
And Dwan getting a countdown here. I mean, this is intense. 29,000 from Mooley. Mooley is pot committed, by the way. He only started this pot with 71,000. It's just a question, does Dwan want to put them all in?
It's like 20.
20?
And Dwan's all in.
All right, I call.
Mooley calls.
I have a 5.
And Dwan needs a 5 or an ace that's not a heart. He is in terrible shape. This pot is enormous. Pot is $150,000 to the river. It's a 6 of diamonds. It's a blank. And Tom Dwan loses a $150,000 pot. Cyril Mooley plays it hard. He plays it fast. Wins himself a monster pot.
And Cyril Mooley guillotines Tom Dwan, or maybe Tom Dwan did it to himself since he's the one that put Cyril Mooley all in.
Well, I think Dwan put him on hearts. I mean, I really think he put him on a draw.
And he was correct until the turn. He did have a drawing hand, but unfortunately on the turn, he hit his queen.
I mean, I think if the heart comes, I think Tom Dwan gets away from that. It's the queen or the 9 that really killed him.
Absolutely.
50.
Wow. Tom Dwan now down $335,000.